Hello everybody, I hope that you had a good week. Mine was not that good because I had a fibro flare from hell, and it was the longest one that I've ever had, honestly. But oh well, things always get better, right? I'm not completely out of it, but I'm close to out of it, so everything is good. So hi Mona, hi Colleen, hi Karen, hi Elaine, thank you for being able to make it. Hi Joss. So in order, this is going to be a relatively basic and easy checkerboard, only that I'm going to use a rainbow Skinner blend instead of the white, and do it the best you can. The way that I did it, hi Sharon, hi Janine, hi Sonia, hi Karen. The way that I did it was actually using the primary colors, the cadmium yellow, cadmium red, and ultramarine of Premo in white pearl. Hi Starshine, hi Sandra, hi Lianka. And the only thing that has to be considered is that when you calculate how much clay you need to get and you might not make a cane as big as this one, but when you calculate what the quantity of clay you need for the rainbow, you are going to consider like using the 1.5 inch cut square cutter and the thickest setting on your pasta machine, three parts, that means 3 cuts of white pearl per half cut of the color. So for red, 3 parts of white pearl, half part of cadmium red. For blue, 3 parts of white pearl, half part of ultramarine. And for yellow, 3 parts of white pearl with half part of cadmium yellow. Hi Cindy. And the only thing is that you make your colors first, and then or you can relatively also put first the white and then the colors. Here the only thing is that you're going to take a little bit from the blue and put it on the side of the yellow. But what follows is very simple. You're going to need an extruder, and I don't know why I didn't get it open beforehand. But see, now I remember it's Mona. It took me what, 12 tries? Oh my goodness. Yeah, the whole fibro thing was that the last almost day of it was practically all fatigue, but the rest was just pain. Okay, and depending on how large you want your checkerboard squares to be, you select your square die. And remember, I've told this before, a coin collector's album is perfect for storing dies. So I think I'm going to go with, I only have 2 sizes of the square. I have this one and I have this one. So I think I'm going to go with the bigger one, so that I don't have to work too hard. All right, so I'm going to first go with the rainbow Skinner blend through the extruder. Hi Cindy, where in Oklahoma are you? And then Now, why I used, there's a reason I used the pearlescent, because, but you can use just plain regular colors if you want. I just recommend that you use some white on them. Why I use pearlescent? Because it gives a little bit of a shine, you know. Not one at a time. Not one at a time, but you can get several at a time. Let me actually show you. By my knowledge, Trish has them too. If you give me just a second, we're gonna go look. Okay. And once again, don't forget to use my affiliate to purchase stuff from both PolyClay Play and my Amazon influencer store. Yeah, you're not that close to me. I'm in Midwest City, just north of Tinker Air Force Base. Okay, so let's look at it. Oops, I left this too small. Give me just a second. Alrighty. So, extruders. And as you can see, there are several, there are 10 per package. You already get, whenever you get the Makins extruder, this is the one like mine, you already get some dies with it. And then you can keep buying the separate ones. I don't have them all, but there was a lady who sent me a whole bunch of her stuff because she was getting too old to be able to clay anymore because her hands, she had arthritis in her hands, so she sent me quite a bit of stuff. And Trish also has the drill adapter. That means the thing that you can put in your drill to help use your drill if your hands are not strong enough. But one thing I can tell you is that I never had issues with the Makins. With the Walnut Hollow, oh my god. Did you, Sherilyn, did you watch my 101 complex canes video? Let me try and find it, because I explained quite a bit. Let me share it with you. There you go. And I have several playlists that show how to make basic canes and basic elements. But in this one, this is the one that I'm talking about, I explain how to choose the colors, putting them together, and how to create your basic triangle that you have to keep, and then how to do stuff with it. And I actually used a little bit of graphic, digital graphic, to show you the various variants you can obtain. But watch it, because it will explain a lot of stuff to you. And I do have playlists with various canes and explanations. Yes, there are some, and I did, if you remember, I did how to make, I made tutorials on how to make a Christmas, I think it was a Christmas bracelet with extruder die and memory wire. Anyway, let's get back to our thing. Yes, I got mine, everything that I have. I didn't buy all at a time, you know. I kind of budget. When I buy from Trish, I budget until I get 100, so I can take advantage of her free shipping over 100. And then the rest, you know, what I got from Amazon was stuff that, you know, I would spend $10 to $20 a month. When I started the channel, I spent, I think it was $15 at Michael's, and I didn't have I had a less fancy camera. I used the pastry sheet, glass sheet, and I didn't have you know, like this kind of stuff, so I used the Node lamp with a magnifying glass that was a gooseneck. My problem was that there was no way I could remove the magnifying glass, which was huge, and with me having issues with being able to see, because I was, before my cataract surgery, I was very, very nearsighted. I mean, farther from my face, I couldn't see a thing. So a lot of times in my beginning videos, until I was able to grace to all my subscribers, because I said, if you want more videos, please help me with donations so I can get better equipment, I was able to get a better camera and better everything. All right, now what you have to keep in mind is that you don't have to have just one of these. You can have several. And you only need to get this and the other thing is that you can do the checkerboard entirely with this. You don't have to put black at all. You don't have to use black at all. You can use simply this. And we'll do two. One with black, or you can use white if you don't like black. And one with just the pearlescent, because that's going to be nice. And the other thing that I wanted to tell you is that I still cannot do a destash, because this, starting today, we are getting again a heat wave. It won't be in the hundreds, it will be in the upper 90s, but that means I still cannot do a destash because I don't dare to send canes through the mail yet. So hi Darla, your kittens. Yeah, I made the mistake yesterday evening. I was finally feeling good enough to sit on a chair, so I went ahead to play my online game, my Guild Wars 2. And of course, once 9:30 came, my little snowflake fart was here, berating me. Okay, so I'm going to start with, I'm going to have 3 practically, and my cutting thing. And of course you can use just plain old. This one is not good enough. Oh well, we're gonna make it good enough. I'm gonna want to take this and this. Now I'm gonna have to have a huge thingy here. So better grab me some wax paper. Generally with wax paper, avoid using the thing here because it's going to wrinkle at the end. So better to just cut it using some scissors. Okay, so I'm going to start with the green. Okay, so somewhere. Hi Nietzsche D, how's it going? But are you talking about more realistic canes, like flower canes and stuff like that? Now, one thing I need to make you aware of. The outer edge of your rectangle might not look exactly like a very big change of color, but I assure you that what's inside is going to be properly changing color. Because whatever is at the very beginning will have the tendency to kind of come on the sides. And if you watch my tutorial where I show how to make those awesome funny designs where you get circles and half circles with different colors inside of a rectangle, and yes, that is also in one of the playlists. Let me see if I can find it. Extruder is spelled with a U, not with a Y. Okay. So it would be this one, where they are all, hold on, let me get to them. They are all made with the extruder, with various Skinner blends. There's all of them, and I showed how to create all these designs with using Skinner blends. So getting back to what we are doing here. And another thing, you don't have to put them in order. Okay, when you mix them with the black, you don't have to put them in order. You can just combine for a nicer and prettier effect. And you can do all kinds of stuff with it. You don't have even to do a rainbow, you know, you can do another combination, just two colors. You can do black and white. It's not very, and that's what I was talking about. If you get the makings, it's very easy. I had the walnut hollow and it was horrible on my hands, but very nice lady got herself the Lucy extruder, and she sent me her makings. Oops, excuse me. And she sent me her makings, and I am super happy with it. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to use the plunger, and I wasn't able to use it even when my hands were working right. But the makings is very easy, and you can put a little bit of WD-40 on here if it's going in a little bit harder. The thing that you need to keep in mind, and I will show you after I'm done with it, you need to clean your extruder. And honestly, it's easier to clean it a day or even 2 days after you use it if you don't use it in the meantime, because the clay gets a little bit harder and it's easier to remove. But I will show you exactly where to. I think Finnegan was on the table also. I started closing this door because he likes to come up here and go nuts on whatever piece of beads and other things he can find. So I start suspecting that now he's waiting for me to go to the bathroom or get me a cup of coffee or something, and jumps on the table real quick to make sure that he knows everything that's going on. Yeah, as you know how cats are. It's funny, whenever I try to eat and I'm getting myself a bowl of something, you know, and I'm leaning on the couch to eat while watching TV, all three of them have to come and sniff what I have in the bowl. And my cats are very weird. Very rarely they eat anything that's not cat food, but they like sniffing. Sometimes Connor would eat one shred of shredded mozzarella or Quaker's Oats. Finnegan likes Black Forest ham and almond butter. Yeah, Finnegan had a cat cave where he was carrying all the beads, but that was before he changed very much since he had that surgery and that bout of issues before the surgery. And I guess the main thing was that it was during the pandemic and I couldn't be with him at the vet and all that. I had to leave him there, and he was there overnight, and in pain, and as his behavior even towards me has changed. Before, he was a Velcro cat, he would always be glued to me. Now he is not very fond of being picked up. He got better, but he's still not super fond of it. Alrighty. So I got this done, and then let me do some black. Oh no, cats cannot swallow big things. Their throat is super narrow. Cats chew their food very, very thoroughly. They are not like dogs. That's why cats can choke very easily. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing with some black. And I'm going to do only one of these because I have three of these square sausages thingies. And I'm going to use two of them with each other and one of them with black. And we're gonna actually also make a combination of earrings. I kept here my earring cutters and put some resin on it so you can see better how it will look when finished. Remember I told you that I prefer to use Premo for the lives because the translucent is actually translucent and you can see the effect of pearlescence and stuff already. Oh, see, oops, see how easy it goes. Hold on. It's just one finger. With the walnut hollow, gosh, I still have it. Actually, at one point I was using a wrench. Alrighty. And one finger until I get to the actual clay. And I can still do it with one finger. It's a little bit harder, so I prefer to do two fingers. But you can see it's very easy with the makings. I mean, remember, generally I will not present to you stuff that is hard to make because I have my own health limitations, and this way you can be sure that most likely if I can do it, you can do it as well. You know. I think that this is already longer. Okay, and before I go farther, let me finish this and show you real quick. Where you have to be very careful with is the threads. And I normally use, as I said, it's much easier to clean when if you let it be for a little bit, because the clay gets softer. Oops, of course I was supposed to drop it. So the first thing you want is to remove any traces of clay from the die. Put them aside, and then grab a paper towel and wipe the die really good. And then I'm putting it back on my thing. And then the next thing is this part. You're gonna have some clay here too. So remove first the clay, then again with some alcohol, wipe it really good. Let me grab my, and as I said, you need a needle for the threads. Check them real good on the outside one here if you need any. Just place the needle in one of the threads and just keep going around and around. And you're going to remove any kind of clay that might have found its way there. And once you're done, again, use some alcohol to wipe it really good. And then grab this part, will have the most clay. What I do first is with some alcohol imbibed paper towel, I go first at the very bottom. See, it still has some, so. And as I said, once it's drier, it's much easier to clean, because it will come off much easier. It will not smudge. But anyway, this is how you clean it. If you don't clean it, it might, and you put this back on it, might have problems taking this lid off, because it's gonna almost glue shut. But the same thing, you go. And I'm not going to sit and clean it right now. I'm going to put it aside, but I wanted to show you where I only slightly put it on, not all the way, so I can finish cleaning it. Anyway, let's get back to it. Now, what I'm going to have to figure out is the one is too small, is the length of my thing. So I'm going to need a ruler. I'm going to take first this one. And this is almost 9, but not entirely. And this is almost 22. I can actually lengthen it. 22 centimeters. And you want it to be an even number, right? And then you have to try to divide that number in 4, in 3, in 4, and in 5, because that's going to determine how big your cane will be. So if I do 22 and I divide it in 4, I'm going to have 5.5 centimeters, right? And that's why I usually measure either in inches or in centimeters, depending which, or the, yes, you can do that too. But I was talking about after each use. I don't clean the barrel all the time. So I use the measuring that's easier divided for myself. And now let me grab this. Make sure that your end is perfectly straight. Now you can work with this, but I want it to be a little bit larger. So I'm going to actually set these kind of together like this, and I'm going to cut them in two. Oops. Just make sure that you put them really good side by side. Oh, this one is a little bit longer. Don't know what I measured there. Okay, so this is a little bit over 2 inches, so it's like 2 1/4. So I'm going to have 1 inch and 1/8. And then here 1 inch. Alrighty. Now, as I said, you don't have to place them in absolute order, but you can if you want to. So, why is this one so much longer than the others? I don't know. My very first one. Let's do another one. Another one. It's like I did my couple of my blacks, I got them too short. I mismeasured something. That's okay, it's gonna still be fine. Okay, so now I have them all, and all I have to do, so I have all of these, this would be the order. So all I have to do is to flip it, and this one goes normal, and this one goes flipped. And there we go. We got our rainbow Skinner blend, however you want to call it. And it's going to look awesome. Now let's make this other one. So I need to make sure that I cut them all properly. Alrighty. So this one has like 8.5, and this other one has a little bit over 20. So let me cut it at 20 because it makes things easier, and that way I have 5. I can actually cut these directly 2.5 centimeters. Yeah, probably that's what it was, Elaine. I can always remove. Okay, now I'm going to keep these in order. And again, I made something wrong. And do the same flipping thing. And these ones are longer. So make sure that you get them together properly. And one goes like this, one goes flipped. It's almost like a Rubik's Cube. One goes straight, and one goes flipped. So there you go. And the thing is that even if the color changes as you go through it, you're gonna still have the Skinner blendish thing. Okay, I can remove the wax paper. Let me grab my larger one. Oops. Excuse me. mind, you can keep doing this. But again, because it is Premo, I would advise to work with it in spurts of like 5 minutes, then let it rest. You can even put it in the fridge and then work on it again a little bit and let it rest, because Premo is not the best one for geometric canes. As I said, Fimo is the best, but if you don't have Fimo Professional, this would work just fine as well. Alrighty, let me reduce this one a little and then the other one a little, so we can cut a few slices and do something, so you can see how it looks like, how gorgeous they look. I posted on Facebook this morning or yesterday, I forgot when, just discovered the what's the name of them? Trailer Park Boys? Anyway, it's a shanty that's got cats as a subject, not sailors. And I've been having an earworm about it all day since I first watched it. And I just found out that one of my neighbors is an Altoids consumer, so I'm gonna have a lot of Altoids addict, to be more precise. So I'm going to have a lot of tin cans to make tutorials with. And you can go with this all the way much smaller if you want to. Just be careful, if you want to have a good effect when you apply the slices, kind of mirror them. So you apply one, the next one, go with it, flip the slice to get the best effect, and then interrupt it of the whole. So you'll have to flip it like this once and then flip it like this once. I'll show you here in a second. Can you use the hematite, graphite? Absolutely. Because like this worked. You can use even a rainbow thing and then black to white pearlish as well. So you can do a lot of combinations like this. I do not recommend pearlescence to do the one that I showed you with the circles and semicircles in squares, because, or if you do decide to use them, always make some white pearl in there, because remember that the pearlescents are kind of darkish when they are against the plane of the mica particles. Okay, so first I'm going to cut 2 slices. Try not to smoosh too much. And you will have little circles, nevertheless. You will have little circles in the not exactly the same width, the same thickness. There we go. I don't need this big a piece of wax paper, but I'm going to do some burnishing here. That is great. And remember, you can always do this with Skinner blends of orange and black. That will work awesome for Halloween stuff. And if you combine it with some black and white stripes, it's going to make a very Beetlejuice effect. Alrighty, so is this long enough? Let me try that one. And with these you can make Natashas or any other kind of beads, because they are the proper combination of colors. You can even make twirly ones. Like, let's see, I'm gonna get this. This and this and this. Or just plain. Look how pretty. Can make gorgeous Natashas, but I'm not gonna make Natashas, I'm gonna make twirlies. Purple and green works great too. Okay, so just start pinching and just keep rolling with your fingers. Pinch, and now roll them with these fingers that you pinch with until you make a twirl here. And you'll get some beautiful, gorgeous beads. Alrighty, now as I said, I'm going to use a little bit of resin so you can see exactly how pretty it looks, even before baking or anything. And you will see also the little circles inside. And just give an extra prettiness to the whole thing. Do you want to make more fall decorations? Fall-ish? I so miss the days when I was going to venues. I'm a very weird kind of extrovert. And that is, of course, I like to be around people. I never had any kind of inhibitions. I used to be a public speaker and on a lot of subjects. But at the same time, I don't mind being alone. I always used to say that I'm a person who's never boring, so I can never bore myself. I always find something to do. It's boring when you cannot do stuff. But, oh well. And it would look the same for the multiple colors. I'm waiting for that resin to get properly cured so we can take a look at this. And of course I'm going to all kinds of stuff. And see, you can do the green and purple too, because you said you like the green and purple, Darla. You can use all kinds of combinations. And remember, I have a couple of tutorials on the stripe canes, and also which is a tutorial on how to make stripe canes with Skinner blends. So that is also helpful, especially for Halloweenish stuff, but also for ornaments. Okay, it is done. So let's refocus a little. Now you see the spirals inside. But that's why I said it's better to do it with pearlescents, because they give an extra oomph to the whole thing. You'll have and you can also use as much as I'm always very reluctant to. But sometimes for things like this, glitter always gives a good thing. Another thing that you can do, and it's very, very nice, is to use, instead of black, and the other thing, you can do this with, awesome, thank you. You can use translucents, and it will also you can make a rainbow or just a regular Skinner blend with translucents, and use regular translucent, just clear translucent, to create a checkerboard. And if you don't cut them thicker than like 1.5 millimeters, at most 2 millimeters, they will be also translucent, and it will look gorgeous. So as you can see, it's not that big of a deal to make, as long as you have of course, as long as you have an extruder. And even the bigger Skinner blend in the beginning, it's not that difficult to make. So I hope you enjoyed it. For next time, I don't know, I still didn't manage to get together with Anna. It will be for whenever we manage to do the Colleen, for whenever we manage to do the testing. But if nothing else happens, next Sunday we'll do something pumpkinish, fallish something, because we have Halloween coming, and then Thanksgiving coming, and then I'm going to try and kind of do Halloween stuff in September, first week of October. Then we'll start on oh, you want the kitty? Let me go look for him. And then we'll start with the Thanksgiving and fall stuff, and then by mid-November I want to do Christmas, winter. Hold on, let me go grab Finnegan. He was sleeping. He was sleeping. Let's get him. Here he is. He is sleepy. He's very sleepy. Oh. He wants to go back to sleep. But there he is. You saw him. So thank you so much, and I will see you next Sunday. Have a wonderful week. Bye.